What is up, everybody?
I feel like we're forgetting something tragic.
I feel like we are too. We've been ready for an hour. We've literally sat here for an hour. Just like, I know we're forgetting something.
We were very excited to get back. I had to check and make sure I had pants on. I was a little concerned, but I forgot something really dumb.
I didn't. Laptop
keep
plugged
doing like
in.
a check around the room.
I know. We forgot something. We'll find out in a bit.
I'm like
shit.
we have our mic not muted. I think we're good.
Mic's not muted. Look at that. We're professionals.
So we are back after a week of frivolity.
Well, frivolity for me, I feel like yours was just turmoil.
I've had like a weird week, dude.
It has been.
I had a weird morning.
Uh-huh.
We live behind a parish, and I woke up this morning to like hymns being sung by a choir of over 25 children outside on the back lawn. And I thought I was being given my last rites. I was like, what is happening?
Just like one of those like movies where you're about to be a human sacrifice or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
it was kind of in and out of like my alarm went off and I snoozed it.
Was it like chanting or like what? Like...
No, it was like singing.
Oh, singing. Okay.
It was
hymns. Okay. I
thought
they were like chanting and they were like...
No, but I did think I was going to wake up and see like, my mom standing over me and like a priest. And I was like, oh my God, this is not the way I wanted to go out. It was a weird morning. It was a weird way to wake up. And I was like, oh God, just sleep like 2 more minutes. And then finally I was like, this is driving me crazy. I couldn't do it.
What time was that at?
I don't know. It was like school was already, all the kids were out there at like 7:30.
Wait, that side? It was coming from that side? My side?
No, my side.
No, your
side. The others.
There's another school up there?
There's a Catholic school in Parish right there. Yeah. See? I hear him every morning.
Look at that. No, I didn't know. We got someone in.
Hi from across the pond.
Hey, Mom. What's up?
Hi, Mom. Hi, other mom.
Hey, Elaine. Hey, other mom.
Real mom.
The moms. What is up?
They're like always our number one viewers.
They were waiting because we hadn't streamed last week. They were just fucking
No, they're like, oh God,
ready.
Are they dead?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a weird week. I've been trying to like refresh myself a little bit. I have been getting frustrated with a lot of things. I deleted Call of Duty.
Yes.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore.
I was sad. I've missed playing with you the last couple of days.
It was just I'm sure I'll download it again, but it was taking up so much room on my computer and just slowing everything down, and also I just couldn't get a kill, so I was like, screw this. This is over. I'm done with Call of Duty officially.
Yeah.
Not officially. Yeah. I'll be back.
I know. Well, I mean, me and Ty almost installed it the other day after we played. It was rough. It was rough.
But so I've had some frustrations this week, but I've also just been kind of learning more stuff and absorbing information, and I made flashcards for myself.
Do you really?
I have like a stack like that of flashcards.
Oh, we're gonna go over them. We're gonna do them together.
Yeah, maybe next time, but we gotta do it. Yeah. And just trying to get some information in this noggin of mine.
Yeah.
And it's been good. You had a really good week.
I've had a great week. I'm not gonna lie, it's been phenomenal. It was my birthday last Friday, and it was a blast. We did the stream on the Thursday night. It was really fun. You got me loads of cool little presents, and then Paige actually cooked for my birthday. She made like this pulled chicken taco thing in the it was in the crock pot.
Crock pot.
And you made guac, and we had tacos and burritos and like all the different toppings and stuff, and we took that up to the location. Dude, that was the best. Thank you.
I made like enough chicken to feed an army, I think. There's still some left over somewhere.
I am an army.
I've seen you eat chicken. I was like, I gotta get a lot of this.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was a blast. We went up to the location. We spent the weekend up there, and we were watching movies, and we were playing like games. We learned how to play poker. Yeah. That was the first time I've ever played poker, so I was very, very excited. I got my beginner's luck.
You did win one round, and then I swept you clean to end the night.
Yeah, I was tired by that point. I couldn't see straight.
You were drunk.
I was drunk. I was very drunk. I was like, I call bullshit. She doesn't have shit. There's no way she has shit. Yeah, you literally cleaned me out.
Full House, I think, or something. I was like, this kid's got nothing.
I had nothing. I literally had nothing. I think my poker face just dropped. I was just like, It was so much fun though. We need to do that. I learned how to shuffle cards for the first time. I've never done that before. So I've been practicing. I've got a deck that I brought back with me, so I've been practicing so I don't suck. Next time I do it. I know it was very slow.
Card shark next time.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing like tricks and stuff like that. It's gonna be awesome. But no, I mean I've had a great time. You know, and you know what the best thing was is that my birthday weekend turned into a birthday week, and for me that was phenomenal because that just meant I got to stay at the location literally across from like Canada on the river,
that part
frolicking in
lovely.
the grass. And like, even though there were midges and stuff like that, and I got mosquito bitten everywhere, but it was fun. It was I had so much fun. I actually played football for the first time in a while as well. I was running around. Mom, I didn't get injured. I kicked the ball around for over an hour and didn't get injured.
I skinned my knee a little bit. That was all.
Where did you skin your knee?
We were playing a pretty intense game of like one touch.
You skinned your knee?
Just like a little bit. I had like a little bit of like what do you call it? Grass burn.
Oh,
grass burn.
That's right. We played One Touch, One Bounce. So One Touch, One Bounce is a game that me and my mates would play back home. So we get a soccer ball, and you're allowed one touch, and the ball's allowed to bounce once between you. So you basically go back and forth, and the person who screws up takes a letter. And obviously we used, we used a horrific word that we can't repeat on thing. But basically, once you spell out the word with your mistakes, you lose. So we
I lost quite a few.
Yeah.
But I made some good diving.
You did do well. So it was fun, but. I think you should tell everybody why my birthday weekend turned into a birthday week.
You guys might have noticed that we didn't stream last week. And that's for one reason alone.
Yeah.
Had a little car trouble when we tried to leave. Actually, let's just show them.
Yeah, just show them. Right, roll the clip.
It's stupid.
So Paige, what are we doing?
It doesn't fit.
You're fucking kidding.
It doesn't fit.
No way. So tell us what happened today.
We were heading home and there seemed to be a little tire pressure problem. Just a wee little tire pressure problem. And there's a big ass nail in my tire. That big nail right there. Kill something.
You okay?
Yeah, Kurt. I'm fine. It's great.
Okay. You sure? Paige, what are you doing?
Just let me be, Kurt. Just let it happen.
What are you waiting for to happen?
You know. I love you, but you were not worth the $400 for a spare and new lug nuts on every single tire. Needless to say, I bought a used car a while back that it kind of got away with murder on me, and I was pretty thorough. But now I'm gonna be a raging bitch next time I buy a car.
Yeah, I mean,
I went to change the tire, and I opened up the back of my car and there was no spare tire, so they sold it to me without a spare,
which is criminal.
Apparently that's how Jeep sells it. It's on the
insane.
Inside of my door. It says sold without a spare.
Oh my god,
and
that's insane.
There were no tools. We didn't have a jack. We didn't have a crowbar thing. Tire iron.
Mm-hmm.
And all my lug nuts bolts were all different sizes. So none of them fit. And it was kind of a mess. And we got stranded for like 4 days. The nearest car place was like 45 minutes.
45 minutes away. Lucky, we actually noticed the tire pressure was like way low. Only 5 minutes away from the location. Not even 2 minutes away from the location.
The worst part was I was like, oh, we're going away for the week. I'm gonna fill my tires up because we drove a long way cross country.
Yeah. And then you were like, wait a second, why is this one like...
the reason that it was all of a sudden started to leak, I probably was like, it was holding on to...
Maybe. I mean, it's a good thing you did do that, because otherwise you probably wouldn't notice the difference, and then we would have been in like the middle of
the middle of nowhere.
Bloody Mars Hill.
We didn't get very far. But yeah, so, I mean, we did... It was fun. It was fun.
It was fun, yeah.
It was not like we were stranded, but we did not have good internet, so it was tough to we tried to stream, but we weren't able to upload. So
yeah, the speed was just like I don't know, for those of you who have been watching us since we made the move out here, when we were trying to stream in the car, that was the kind of speeds we were getting. So and I know how frustrating that was, watching us go like movies, you know,
it wasn't an artistic choice either.
Yeah, no. So we decided, you know what, let's just kill it. Let's come back next week, a lot, you know, stronger fresher and stronger.
Rosalita's on the mend.
She's on the mend.
She's waiting for some new parts, and then she'll be better.
That's right.
But yeah, at least we had time. We had a lot of time to watch. We watched a ton of movies.
We did. That's the best thing about it, because we literally we were parked in front of the TV, watch it. During the day we were working. We obviously had work and stuff like that we had to do, but then as soon as work finished, we had the grass outside. We go play badminton. You know, we just had a bunch of different games we could go play. What was it? Baccarat. Bocce, not Baccarat. What's Baccarat?
I don't know. It's something though.
Baccarat, and that's a card game, isn't it? That's James Bond.
I was
like, what the fuck? Bocce. I almost said bowls. That's what we call it.
You had a lot of beginner's luck. I mean, like, I've been playing these games for a while, and you, like, just came through and kicked my ass on everything. It was very frustrating.
I'm actually undefeated at Bocce right now, as far as our Invictus crew goes.
We were playing on a hill.
Everybody was playing on a hill.
Your arms are up higher.
I don't know where your point is.
Catch up, Kurt.
Paige doesn't like losing. I've learned this.
No, and you know what's annoying is that, like, usually I'm that person that's, like, just, like, randomly good at shit like that. Yeah. And then you came in and you were like, what is this ball? And you were like, boom, and it, like, just knocked all my balls out of the way. And I was like,
you know, the best thing was when we were playing badminton and, like, we were losing and you were throwing a straw. I said you were losing and you were throwing a straw.
I got actually mad.
She was really, really mad. But, like, to the point where I had to stop, like, saying anything. I was just winning points and just saying nothing. And she was just getting angry that I was being silent. And then I hear our boss from across the way just shout, "Let the Wookiee win." I was just like...
Mean.
It was so funny. Wookiees don't pull your arms off when they lose. I mean, droids don't pull your arms off when they lose. Let the Wookiee win. You were so angry.
I was at the point where I was angry not having fun anymore.
I know. Like throwing your racket down.
I made a comeback though, but I was trying. But we did. Okay, so we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We watched a lot of movies.
Yes, we did.
And we started with, like, we had to kind of go to one of the basics. Went to 2001 Space Odyssey.
That's right. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I had never seen it before, which is probably a criminal act that I hadn't done that. I'm sure many people would frown upon that.
I mean, maybe, but it's one of those films you should definitely watch. But you know, I mean, it's visually stunning, but I still just, I mean, that film still manages to, like, confuse me and lose me and just, like...
Well, what's funny is we today, when, you know, I was kind of, like, outlining what we're going to do today, and I called down to you and I'm like, all right, should we talk about, like, let's talk about Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And let's talk about the sequel as well. Oh, yeah, Kurt, sounds great.
Yeah.
And then, like, an hour later, we both were on YouTube, like, wait, God,
what
we had to, like, refresh ourselves. And when I think about that, the 2001, I mean, it's not, there's pieces that aren't coherent as a whole for me, so I see little moments that stick out to me that I remember as being, you know.
Right.
cool or important or
Yeah.
good filmmaking and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, it's not, the story makes no sense. So it's kind of a different, for me, it was a different type of movie to watch for me.
For sure.
I usually watch for story and stuff.
Well, that's
So.
yeah. I mean, that's me too. But I think it's important to note that through the lens that we're watching it through is through, we've seen like the Avengers, we've seen like Lord of the Rings, we've seen all these movies that have been made, you know, as we've been growing up with all these like crazy effects and everything like that. And the fact that that film 2001: Space Odyssey was made in 1969 is incredible. I mean, the practical effects, it is visually stunning. It holds up today. Like, it looks
years
amazing.
before Star Wars.
Years before Star Wars. Star Wars actually took inspiration from the techniques that they used.
Yeah.
Which is...
Just the fact that, you know, going into it, I know enough now that I know that they were using models and stuff, but when I knew about the movie beforehand, I didn't realize that that's what they were doing. So to watch it all the way through and be like, oh my god, they're doing models for all of this. It's all practical.
Yep.
It's all lit practical.
Yep.
Was just kind of crazy for me.
Yeah, all in-camera tricks, forced perspective. You know, it's. I mean, the practical effects. The cool thing is that those practical effects, for the most part, can be achieved cheaply, which is what's interesting for us, because obviously we're going to make this movie, this horror film, which again we're creeping up on when we're going to start going into like pre-production and edging towards production soon. So I mean, it's starting to get exciting here. But in terms of like, you know, practical effects versus CGI and stuff like that. I mean, like, you have the guys at ILM who do these crazy effects for like Avengers and stuff, and you have teams of hundreds of people working on a single effect, texturing, you know, all the different kind of aspects that go into that, and it's extremely expensive. Yeah. But then, I mean, these guys, I mean, you know, the fact that you could create these things, and I'm not saying it wasn't expensive. Obviously, it was. The film was still. I mean, the budget. Was
I think
massive.
It's I mean, you can argue. I think that practical could be more expensive if you're not doing it for budget purposes. Right. I mean, it could eat up a lot of money too.
I think
it's not necessarily that practical is cheaper.
It depends. I mean, well, you look at it. I did actually read the centrifuge that they constructed for 2001: A Space Odyssey. Yeah. $750,000.
That's crazy.
So I mean, that was, I think the budget altogether was like 10 million or something like that,
so
which inflation is like probably puts it at like
a tenth of their budget.
Yeah, exactly. Just on that one thing. So when they were.
No, that's not right. But yeah.
When they were moving the... so there's a couple of shots in 2001: Space Odyssey. For those of you who haven't seen it, where you have like... there was a woman who she's walking and the camera's framed up on her, and then suddenly she starts walking like up the wall, basically. Yeah. So the idea was that they built the set inside this centrifuge, and the centrifuge turns and the camera doesn't, so it looks like basically she's just walking up the wall and gravity is shifting, so she can go through a different door that's on the ceiling, which is it's amazing. It's really cool. But I mean, that was a really expensive effect, but the idea of it is, you know, again, like I think there's ways of achieving that. And you know, the cool thing is that those particular shots have inspired so many movies since, like Inception. Inception. Do you remember when they're going through the corridor and like the dream's collapsing? So Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like running, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" Yeah. That whole fucking corridor is literally just on a giant gimbal.
Yeah, even so cool. The Poltergeist, I think, and stuff too, is even they did that as well.
That's right.
The you know, moving the camera around the set and stuff. But it's I think that, I mean, for its time, obviously it was really, really well done.
It was amazing.
And
just hard story to get into, right? It was just. I mean, that was the
story.
Isn't
the story?
I don't know.
They tried in the sequel in 2010.
Yes.
The Peter Hyams movie. They kind of tried to connect the story a little bit better. Yes. I know their books, so that's interesting as well too.
Right. Yeah, I'll have to see
interesting to read and see if the story's actually. I don't know if it's actually not cohesive like that, or just I don't know. But they definitely tried to make more of a a storyline and plots and characters that you wanted to be invested in. They had a crazy cast with Helen Mirren and
Roy Schneider.
And John Lithgow's in it.
That's right.
So it's just kind of they did try, and I liked it.
I like 2010. And do you know what it was as well? That you can tell the difference between like Hyams and Kubrick.
Mm-hmm.
Kubrick just held on these shots for like, and I mean it's cool.
I can see why though.
Yeah, because they have
like the first of its kind.
Exactly. No, I know exactly why.
Yeah.
But then watching it back for us, it's just like, is he gonna cut?
The monkey scene is like 20 minutes long.
Oh yeah, the monkeys in the beginning and stuff, and the bone transition. So I was at the New York Film Academy. I did my master's degree there, and the teachers there, I think we spent almost an hour just talking about this damn bone transition where the monkey throws the bone up in the air and the camera follows the bone and suddenly it just cuts to a spaceship in the sky where like it almost like match frames the bone, and like how it was the greatest transition of all time. And I just want to just shoot myself because it was basic, but I mean whatever.
You said that and I was like, wait, that?
No, I know, that's the thing. But we literally had a whole like lecture on it, and I was
That's
just like,
crazy.
but that you know what that goes to show is that, and I'm not, it's a cool transition, whatever. That for its time, like to be able to do something like that, having the thought to do it. The problem is that we've seen so many things since that are cooler, and you know, so I get it, but I think it just goes to show how subjective our industry really is. You know what I mean? If you like something, then you can argue for it, and if you don't like it, you can argue against it. But like that, I hate when someone tells me this is the greatest thing ever, and I look at it and I'm like, I don't know.
It's good to know how it's done and understand the perspective and stuff.
Right.
I agree with that too.
Yeah,
this is the best thing.
I hate those concrete like assertions that people make that are just like, oh yeah, like this is the best, this is the greatest movie ever made. Like it's just like, okay, like you know.
How could you even say that though? I mean, it's like, and we're kind of guilty of it too because we're also like, did you like it? And we say yes, but like,
I mean, I like the movie.
Down to the personal preference and stuff, but I do hate answering questions like that sometimes. That's like one thing they kind of burn into your brain at acting school is not like when they're like, how did you feel about that? And you're like, felt good, and then you're like. You know, like you're not supposed to. You gotta critique yourself.
Right.
And so sometimes when we're like, "That was good. It was good," I'm like, "Oh God, that's so hard right now."
I know.
So I'm trying to get out of that habit a little bit more, but you know.
Yeah. No, I hear
habits.
that. Yeah. It's. I think it's just one of those things where you have to. You have to not be afraid to kind of like give your opinion, especially when you're talking about a classic film like that. You know, I mean, because the purists in film, I mean, like one of the refresher videos I was watching, the kid literally was talking because I wanted to find out more about the centrifuge, and he was talking about how this is the greatest movie ever made. It's in its own category. It's in like, and it's just like. Okay, I get it. I get your opinion. I appreciate it. Like, it's good and stuff like that. But it's just like the fact when people phrase it as not an opinion, it's just I don't know. It's
also like it's we're things, just thieves. Like filmmaking is just thievery at a certain point too. Like you're stealing other people. It is,
pretty much.
Some of it is like, oh, look at what Star Wars did. They did the model work. Everybody's doing up until the 80s. They did the model work on. 2010 Space Odyssey too.
Yeah.
So I mean, to say that one is better than the other is just kind of crazy when you can like be like, okay, well everyone's still using the same technique, so the word better is a little bit superfluous. But.
Right. No, I got you. I mean, like, well, Star Wars, like we were talking, is like it's 2001: A Space Odyssey with a story.
Yeah.
Just like Luke Skywalker going off to fight the Empire. Yeah. No. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what else was really exciting this week? We're talking about seeing movies. Is that we went back to the cinema for the first time.
We did. It was kind of crazy.
It was.
We didn't even know it was open, actually. It was very spontaneous.
No, because we went to go get beers. We went on Saturday. We went and got some beers at Bangor Brewery.
Bangor Beer.
Bangor Beer and Co.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, yeah. Really great. Food was amazing.
They have sushi.
They have sushi there.
Yeah.
They're attached to a Japanese restaurant.
I went by myself, like a sad person.
You did, yes, yeah.
Like a sad independent woman.
I agreed to go with her this time, so she wouldn't look like a loser.
I would fun by myself.
I know, yeah. Honestly.
It's like one of my favorite pastimes, just going to restaurants.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this time I let you come. And
yes.
And next door is the movie theater.
Yes.
So, and I was like, oh, I think we started out with the back door leading out of it looks really creepy. And I was like, oh, that would be really cool. I bet it would be cool to get in there right now, like an abandoned movie theater.
Yeah,
cool, like cool set. And then we both kind of at the same time looked to the parking lot and we're, I don't think it's abandoned. Actually, we were like, wait, is this open?
Right, yeah.
So then we, decided to go see a movie after.
Yeah, so we Googled it, and inevitably I saw that the new Guy Ritchie picture was in the cinema, and everybody who knows me knows I love Guy Ritchie. I'm a big fan of some of his work, especially his early work, actually. I mean, like Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Those films were really kind of the first films that kind of really made me kind of be like, I want to make a picture like that. I like those movies. Those are cool. The movies since have been a bit like meh.
That's funny because I asked you what your favorite movie was too, like right before that. And
you did.
Snatch.
I did say Snatch. Yes, I think Snatch is. I always kind of go back to that. It changes again depending on my mood. I mean, like there's things like I love my fantasy movies. I love like gangster movies, even boxing movies and stuff like that. But no, Snatch has always kind of been that one that I can always go back and watch and and have a lot of fun watching it. The transitions and the way he plays with it. It's really good. But we decided to go and see Wrath of Man with Jason Statham. And here, I'll give you guys a quick clip so you know what we're talking about.
I need to know who killed my son. It's gotta be an inside job. Not good enough.
As requested, a brand new you.
The boss is going undercover. There's an armored truck driver.
Get in the truck!
Sorry, pal.
He's not a cop. If he's not a cop, what is he?
It's very important that you take my inquiry seriously.
Wrath of Man. Rated R. In theaters May 7th.
All right, so that was the Wrath of Man teaser trailer. So we went to go see it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of went in with no expectations.
I thought you were gonna say hammered.
That too. I mean, we had time to kill. We had like 2 hours to kill.
Yeah, we did. We did. We just kept sinking the beers.
I'm just a man.
Yeah,
it was fun. We didn't get out in a long time.
Yes.
Be nice. Anyway, yes, no, we did go in, and I didn't really know what to expect. I'm not a huge Guy Ritchie fan like you are, so, but I was just kind of underwhelmed, to say the least. It was a kind of very cliche story, nothing too interesting about the story that I hadn't really seen before. I thought the setting was really well done. Now that I'm looking back on it, it all takes place inside the money vaults or
the depot with the money
depot,
trucks. Yeah.
And so that was kind of like they established that world. Which
Yes,
was pretty cool. Yeah, it's not something
you haven't
that
seen
you like.
or
I have
know
no idea
about.
what that looks like.
Right.
And they kind of established that community and relationships and all that stuff in the script really well, I thought.
Yeah.
But overall, it was pretty predictable. I was like, yeah, his son's gonna die. This is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen. And he's gonna have to find revenge and want to avenge his son.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty predictable action movie plot.
Right.
And I was a little disappointed, but it was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I'm a big fan of Guy's work, and it was okay. I mean, it wasn't. Again, it doesn't. The problem is, I measure all his movies up to Snatch and Lock, Stock, and you know what? That's the thing though. Is that's your curse as a director though. If you make a film like Snatch that just keeps kind of like people like talking about it for years and years, decades after you made it, you're always competing against that movie. You know, like you're always trying to reach that thing, and every time. You know, unless you're reaching better. I mean, there's very, very few filmmakers out there that consistently hit that mark over and over again. Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
You know, like names like that.
I mean, that's just crazy. He's just crazy.
but the reason that they're Steven Spielberg and things like that is because they've done it. They've managed, their movies all kind of meet this kind of standard where you can sit through them and enjoy them and be like, holy shit, like
yeah.
It hit that level where I'm like, I'd watch that again, or you know.
I think that's interesting too, because that happens to so many actors as well.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that kind of falling into a certain category type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is really easy to do, especially if you're good at it. It's easy to fall into that. But yeah, I never really thought of it as a director, but it is true. I mean, it's if you have one hit and then that's all that you're seen as, or you have a couple really good movies, it's hard to keep up that.
M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, same thing. Everybody looks for the twist now when in his movies, and he's a great filmmaker. But the problem is, it's just.
I was watching this. There's a new M. Night Shyamalan. Well, it's like a couple years old. 2 years. It's been on for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's on Apple TV, and it is called. My mom watched it. She'll know. Anyway, it takes place in Philly, of course, and it's a series. So, but each episode's kind of like a different. It's a different amount of time.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool.
That is
you'll
cool.
have an episode that's like 40 minutes and then an episode that's 20.
Okay.
So it's just as long as it takes to tell that story, kind of.
I like that. That's
but
cool. Okay.
I was waiting for the twist the whole time, and the first season nothing really happened, and it ends and nothing really happens, and then me and my mom both watched it together, and then we both said, all right, let's watch a second because we're ready for another twist, and then the same thing. It got off on this tangent, and we were like, "Oh, M. Night, what's happening?" And Rupert Grint is in it, actually.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like him. I like him as
an
an actor.
American accent.
He does he?
Yeah.
Does he do it well?
It's all right.
Possible.
It's decent.
Okay, possible. All right,
It's not a Philadelphia accent, but that's okay. It's a hard one to pull
Dude,
off.
yeah.
I can't. I think it's called like The Boy or something like that. I can't remember. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, and that's a perfect example of that because I like his movies.
Right.
And so, waiting for that one thing when you're such a specific filmmaker, I'm sure can just totally kill you.
I think that speaks of stepping out of your comfort zone, though, in terms of like as a director, going and doing different things. I mean, I remember we were talking about to the boss about this, and he was saying like if he had stepped out, if M. Night Shyamalan had stepped out and done a comedy after he did that first, I mean, you look at, like, I keep going back to Spielberg, but you look at the range.
He's done so many different.
Well, he's done Saving Private Ryan, War Horse. Those are like World War movies. E.T., Alien movie. What's it? Ready Player One,
Auschwitz.
VR thing, Schindler's List. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's
List.
just
You
so.
go from like Schindler's
Jurassic
List
Park.
to doing Jurassic Park is like just crazy.
Yeah.
And to do a movie like Schindler's List that was like, I'm sure very hard for him to do.
Of course, yeah.
And then, a couple of years you're doing fake dinosaurs and stuff. So I think, I don't know the reason for his success, but that is really interesting.
Just a good storyteller. Mel Gibson, same thing. Mel Gibson, the films he does, like, I mean, like, you look at like a Braveheart, then you look at like Apocalypto,
variety.
like a Hacksaw Ridge. They're all different, and it's, I think it's fascinating to see like, which kind of directors kind of cling to what they know. And which ones they'll see a cool story and be like, I want to tell that story no matter whatever it is.
Yeah.
I want to go do it, which is, I mean, that's inspiring for me as a director. I'm like, all right, I don't want to get pegged in a
it's cool.
certain...
You think about it too, to get to that point when you're like, I can choose to do this.
Oh yeah, I want to go do this.
And I'm thinking about that too, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that I've done some pretty things that I wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's easy to say for any profession, I think too. You always take a job and stuff that you don't.
Right. I mean, well, don't forget though. But those guys are still making choices though. The guys who are choosing to do the same thing over and over. That's still. I'm choosing to. I mean, Guy Ritchie. I mean, this film we just watched, Wrath of Man. I mean, it's very much in his ballpark. I mean, he stepped out of his ballpark to go do like Aladdin and things like that. I mean, even Sherlock Holmes and stuff was his Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. was decent.
Yeah, those are good movies.
I liked it. But like this was very much back in where he likes to be with the nitty gritty gangsters. He's got a British lead and stuff like that. But it was, I mean, I tell you what, shot really nicely. I mean, I thought it was, you know, some of the shots in there were really
yeah,
beautiful. They were
that cool.
really cool.
Oh, what do you call it? Where they're like, we were trying to figure out. It had to be a body cam on him, right?
Oh yeah, when it was like mounted to the character, so the character's like moving, and the camera is like keeping the character still in the frame, but everything else is moving.
Yeah, so everything else is kind of out of focus and moving.
He does that in King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, where
Charlie
Hunnam.
We were watching that too.
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam and Jamon Hunsu, they're running through the alleyway, and they've got the camera like literally like mounted to like the actor, and they're just
cool. I don't know. It's like a little guerrilla
style.
That's how I like to think about it. It looks like it's almost home movie, and it's like a nice little. It was good. I thought it was really well done for the Wrath of Man movie because it was very kind of guerrilla in that sense. Where it was like, you know, a lot of handheld stuff.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like it was a mix. It was a mix between that and then like you kind of the big like train shots and stuff like that. See, that's the thing. It's like I feel like Guy was so good at the snatch kind of guerrilla filmmaking, kind of like, you know, let's get in there and get in and do that. And then obviously, like, you know, once you get a budget, and this is the same thing we were talking about Zack Snyder as well. Zack Snyder, when he got a massive budget, you know, suddenly it becomes like, oh, I can have this and this and this and this and this, and suddenly your story that is your core like gets kind of left behind.
That's like one thing we keep talking about too.
Story.
Is that like and we keep getting burned into our brain is that and for us as producers, like we have to remember, no, we got to stick, but we're also going to be creatives on this. So, you know, every time actor Paige is like, wow, I really want to change that line. Like I have to stare at myself in the mirror at producer Paige and like a producer Paige has to stare at actor Paige and smack her down a little bit.
I don't know which Paige I like better.
They're both evil.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're both evil to me. Producer Paige is I think actor Paige is nicer.
She's a little softer.
Yeah, a little softer around the edges. Yeah,
she's a little more artistic. And she's a romantic.
I think so.
Producer Paige takes no prisoners.
Yeah, Producer Paige took no shit. I was playing badminton against Producer Paige. I know it. I know for sure.
You were my budget Excel sheet.
I was your I know. Just Oh my god, but yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely interesting, you know, in terms of like, you know, holding and having these conversations about this, you know, where we keep kind of coming back to this, hold your story at the center, and no matter what medium you're in, whether it's film, whether it's TV, whether it's writing a book, whether it's, you know, like the story is the most important thing, and I feel like that gets left behind once you start throwing money and effects.
It's the same way that like once you get a credit card, you're like,
That was me. I was like, shit, I have to pay this back. Oh god.
Just like I just paid off all my credit cards, and I couldn't look at it anymore. I was like, let's take a step back, Paige.
Look how much money I have.
Need those boots.
I know. But yeah, I mean, it's. Christ.
But it was overall. I really liked the action sequences. That was one thing. I like the action sequences were, I thought, pretty lit.
Honestly, we could have been watching dog shit. I would have been happy because I was back in a cinema. So
I know.
I was just stuffing M&Ms in my face.
So much popcorn. I wanted to die afterwards.
It was kind of good. And you know what? It's always fun, you know, going in and watching an action movie. You know, action is fun, and you know, I mean.
There's no one in there too.
There was no one in there. But you know what? Speaking of action, we actually have a little action skit of our own. We did
film a little. I wouldn't call it a skit. I would call it a masterpiece. Actually,
it is a masterpiece. Yes, yeah, I'd agree.
I don't know. Let you guys decide.
Yeah, take a look. That's your one. You're doing great. Yeah, so again, part of my birthday weekend was we learned archery. How cool is that?
We did another thing that I was annoyed about because I've done it quite a few times, and you were also amazing at it.
You were pretty good though.
My
You were pretty
ego
good.
is kind of bruised
Yeah.
severely.
You what? Obviously, the video is taking the piss, but like what I will say is that you pulling a 55-pound bow, a 55-pound bow. So we had a recurve bow and we had a compound bow. So we started with the recurve bow, and this one was pulling 55 pound. I was pulling the 55 pound as well, and it was tough. And you pulled it at least 9 or 10 times before you were like, okay, I'm done. Like, and then the next day you couldn't move.
I will say it was more like 9 or 10 times, and then you went inside for a bit, and I pulled it a few more times.
Oh, did you really? Look at
But
me.
thank you. You were very kind.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was it was cool, and you were very good at it, and it was fun to do something outdoorsy and action packed.
I've never shot a bow before, so I was really excited. I was
really
like,
good.
oh my god, Legolas. Like,
Yeah, I know. We gotta get the speed down next.
Well, that's the thing. I call bullshit on any of these archers in these movies who are just like
the bugs.
I was like, what is going on? Like, goddamn, man. Like, I'm like pulling it and like I'm like shaking. I'm like, okay, all right, I got it. Boom.
Yeah, my mom said Katniss. That's
Katniss,
right.
that's you,
See,
yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, straight
I
up.
used to
She
be
is.
more
She
Katniss
is.
like before I cut my hair. I was like,
Yeah.
I used to do the Katniss.
Oh,
for you.
really? Oh, fucking A.
Yeah,
there
she's
you go.
the best.
Damn, I can't imagine you. I've only known you.
You
for this
just
second.
like-
I know, I
you
was
like
I
looked
looked
at
I
them
looked at you. I
like,
was like,
long hair.
really? Like, fucking
Yeah,
A.
my
No,
old
that's awesome.
headshots somewhere. That's funny.
I'm gonna see those pictures. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. The compound bow was really, really cool. I was having a lot of fun with that. Also, I think we should both be complimented, even though your arrow didn't go in the right way on that. But neither of us hit the cameraman in those shots. Can you
No.
imagine how dangerous it is when you stand next to the camera like that?
That's
Having
true.
the arrows go out.
I did think about launching that arrow at you, and then I there was a split second where I was like, this might actually hit him. I have a good arm.
Yeah,
And then
I know.
was like, I'm gonna throw it.
What you guys
like
didn't
a
see
girl.
is I flinched behind the camera. I was like, oh shit, wait, she's lining it up. I've seen this one play baseball and softball, yeah, no, it's yeah.
We
So-
left no element of mystery there.
Mm.
I wanted them to think that I was terrible, so that they challenged me to an archery contest live, and I just blow them out of the water,
I'm
make a ton
sorry.
of money.
Did I ruin that for you?
make a ton of
You were
bets.
gonna go
and
hustle.
I was gonna go hustle my
You're
archery
gonna go
skill.
hustle people away. No. Now you gotta just.
To actually.
You actually have to go in, and everybody's gonna be
truthful.
looking. No, yeah, but you were. I was very, very impressed. But like, yeah, dude. I mean, I was a little sore the next day. You were literally like.
Yeah, I like couldn't move my
You
hand.
needed a protein shake. Like,
Well, we were
holy
playing
shit.
badminton, and I was like, I couldn't go.
That's right. So that's actually the stuff we were doing when Paige's car was just like, nah, we're not. I'm not having it.
Yeah.
Like, we were like learning how to shoot bows and stuff.
But we
and
did do a lot of work.
We
too.
did. No, we were
You-
doing a lot of work. Yeah.
You like got the whole website done. Let's just take a moment.
Yes,
You
it's done.
did it.
Oh my god.
You did it.
It is done. You guys can go and see it.
Let me. While you talk, I'm gonna post the link.
Oh, good idea. Yes, so it is live now, Invictus.film. It's the first time I have actually designed a website from scratch.
How long did it take you?
It was about 2 weeks, I think. 3 weeks. I think aside from all the stuff, work and stuff we had to do with the stream and everything like that, and other tasks and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I kept chipping away at it, so I'd say 2 or 3 weeks, probably 3 weeks to be safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's up. I'm proud of it. We'll
I think
definitely
it looks
keep.
really good. I
we'll
think
keep
you did
adding
a
to
really
it.
good job, especially for it being like your first website
Thank you,
design.
thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, it gave me so many headaches, and there was many times I wanted to snap my laptop in half. But
No, I mean, I've used WordPress before, and
Yeah.
we've said this before, but there's a reason my website is exactly the same as it was when I left college.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's one of those things that, like, I remember the first day, and my mom, if she's still in here, she'll remember. I literally called her. And I was in such a bad mood because, again, like we were talking about earlier, you know, when you're kind of like you expect to kind of pick something up and be good at it, and you're like, you know,
Yeah.
I've kind of like. It's been one of those things where I'm like, I pick something up and I expect to at least be decent at it, you know?
Yeah.
And then I picked this up and I sucked because I didn't know anything, and obviously I didn't have the patience to go and read and learn and, God forbid, figure out how to actually build this thing from scratch. I'm like trying to drag things on WordPress. Just like, why won't the title drag across the page and stuff like that? Oh, this is stupid. I hate this. And I just called her and I was bitching, and poor thing had to listen to me whine and whinge the whole time. But again, figuring it out and kind of going back to the drawing board and doing it. So yeah, it's good. One thing to note, guys, it's there in the...
I just posted it in the chat there, but don't leave our stream. Just open a new tab, people.
There you go. Yeah. Hell yeah. Did she say Mr. Misery? Yes,
Mr.
that does
Misery.
say Mr. Misery.
That sounds about right. Oh, what was me? I blacked out for like 10 minutes while you were telling that story, by the way.
I know, yeah. I get it from my dad for sure. My dad was the most miserable fucking, miserable bastard. But what I will say is that we have an Inside Invictus tab on our website where I actually embedded the stream into that tab. So you can technically go onto our website and onto the Inside Invictus page and you'll be able to watch our stream. And there is also the chat is embedded in there as well, so you can chat on there as well. So that was something I learned how to do with HTML.
Both YouTube and Twitch.
YouTube and Twitch, and the YouTube isn't embedded because that was every time the URL was changing. So I was just like, oh, how do I embed this?
Yeah, it's a new URL. I can't even say URL every time.
Yeah, they YouTube have also changed the policy in terms of embedding the chat. They don't want the chat. They want you to go to YouTube. So we have the link to the YouTube stream. If you guys want to watch via YouTube, you can do that. So
and you can chat from there as well.
For sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hold on,
Looking at it on my computer, it looks great.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to our chat?
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Sad.
I just was doing this.
Oh, I see. We only had it on Twitch, huh?
Yeah, I was just
I
looking.
hope we weren't missing YouTuber comments there.
I hope not.
Sorry, YouTube, if we neglected you. We're still learning the multi-stream here.
Yeah, I was just like, wait a second.
You can have it set so it's either
you can have
Twitch
either one or the other. Yes. So I had the on Twitch and not the multi-stream. I was wondering, because I was looking at the thing, I was like, where are there's no one new from YouTube chatting to us. But there wasn't anyone from YouTube chatting to us last time, but that doesn't mean that no one was talking to us this time. Yeah, that's my bad. But yes, what's it?
Proud of you, good work. There you go. Okay,
there you go. We're back up again. So the website's up. Go visit it. Let me know what you guys think. And we have we have a casting page.
Yeah. We can finally it's funny because we're getting a lot closer to actually being in production on stuff and being closer to needing more people to help us out, and so now that we have the website up, it's a good moment for us to just be all right, and we can send people there to send us their info, send us their resumes and stuff, and hopefully we can find some like-minded people out there. And if you're watching, feel free to do the same. Yeah. You can email us at info@invictus.film.
Yes.
Or jobs@invictus.film.
Yeah, send us a resume.
Send us your resume. And any actors out there, we're always looking. We have a couple projects lined up, so you can email us at casting@invictus.film as well. Yes. And that's all on the website.
Yes, all on the website now, so
it's going to be kind of cool to expand our little family here. I'm really excited.
I'm excited too.
It's kind of crazy. So I was watching, all right, I've been fangirling a little bit.
I know, because I heard you watching it again.
All right, I love Pink, the singer.
Yeah.
And she just put out a new documentary about her album and her tour and stuff. And it kind of just follows her process, as behind the scenes process, and how she runs herself and her business. And she's a mom. She's got 2 kids. She's a family. She brings her kids on tour, which no one does.
Right.
But
Yeah.
She has this whole section in there where she's talking about the people that, she's the boss.
Yes.
She's talking about the people that she hires on her team. Mm-hmm. And she says, there's a lot of people in my industry that will audition in and out so often that you don't even get to know the people, or you don't care because it's all about you. Yeah. And she said, I make a point to surround myself with people that are better than me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not intimidated by them. Yeah. I'm inspired by them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really cool because we talk so much that that's kind of what we want to, it is really what we want to do, is build from the ground up this, company of Invictus from a group of people that are like-minded and hardworking, and you know, she's like, oh, if you want to be on that stage till you're 80, rock on, you're gonna be on that stage till you're 80, because I will too. And I think that's really cool. And I think that in the back of my head, I'm like, that's all I always needed. Like, it's cool to hear someone else say it, because she's on such a big scale that it obviously works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she's been touring with the same people. If you watch her videos from 10 years ago, or when I was even a kid, it's the same dancers in her music video from her first album.
That's
you
wild.
know?
That's cool. That's
and
really,
there's a lot
really
of people that do that. I mean, Lady Gaga does that as
Yeah.
well, and those are some people that I really admire, but that, especially women in business, which not to like drone on or bore you guys here, but you know, one thing that she says and makes a point of is like, it's really hard to be the boss and not be a bitch, because you immediately are like, oh, that stage isn't good there, and someone's like, oh, that bitch. And that's just how it is, and that doesn't happen for men. And that doesn't, it's not, If you got up there and said,
Bon Jovi's like, hey,
Bon Jovi, no one questions Bon Jovi. They're like, oh yeah, dude, whatever you need.
Bruce.
No one's questioning Bruce.
Never.
But if Patty gets up there and is like, the stage is out of, I mean, you know, I don't know, but it's still, you know, there's still that double standard.
Right.
And the one thing that I really am gonna take to heart and would like to share, and I think, you know, pass on, and one kind of milestone or stepping stone that we can build off of this when we're looking at people to hire and people to work with is, you know, she says this thing about it's hard to find those people that think like you.
Right. Yes.
But once you find them, it's not hard to keep them.
Yeah.
You just have to treat them right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she's buying them dinner every night. They're out there kayaking, and that's all on her, you know? But that's what makes happy people, and they work their asses off. They're out there sweating their asses off for hours and hours, and, you know, take care of your people.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I watched the documentary as well. I saw how kind of inspired you were by it, and I really wanted to check it out. And it was inspiring. It was massively inspiring. And the one thing that struck me as well was just, again, like, you know, in terms of the family that they're building, but also, I mean, I think a lot goes to her, because, I mean, she is massively inspiring. She's massively magnetic. Like, the way, her attitude towards her work and the way she approaches it, I think, is what gives her magnetism, you know? It's just, and those are things, again, like, because you can be talented. Yeah, I mean, but you can be talented, and your mentality can be completely like you said, I mean, it could be completely like, I don't really care about anyone around me, I'm the star, I can do that. But like, I think, you know, we can definitely learn from her, and, you know, her just her whole approach to how she goes to go do a show with all these people who you can see from the documentary love and respect her, and they all like look like they have a place there, you know. I mean, none of them look like they're in awe of her. Yeah. Which is massive. She's a superstar. Yeah. But like, you can tell they're so tight knit and so like, and I think that's something for us to aim for. You know, you know, in terms of, you know, people, we want people to want to work with us. You know, it's not a case of like, hey. And
no one's ever any bigger than the other person in the room.
Right.
I mean, that's the guy that's, you know, making coffee is just as important. Might have the same idea that you have in your head. Right. He's not in a position to say it. And so that's kind of the concept that, you know, I think about a lot. But it was also a really well filmed documentary.
It was. And you mentioned the Moby Cam
operators.
There
were like 7 Moby Cam operators listed afterwards too. And I was like, Kurt, take a look at how many movies they had.
I was nerding out on how they were shooting it. I think that was the first thing I said to you. I literally called up and said, like, Paige, this is really well shot.
I know.
She's like, watch the documentary.
Like, watch it for the art.
Watch Pig. Like, I'm like, okay. I've you know what, I've always loved her I've always loved her music.
She's a fellow Philly girl, so I can't, you know.
Just phenomenal. Her music always gets me hyped.
We've been pretty like tragically into Pink like the past couple of days.
We have been.
You've been like in your shower.
I love her music. I've always really liked her music. I've listened to her music while boxing and stuff like that. Like, because she's she gets your heart rate up, and hell yeah.
It was kind of cool though. I mean, I did. And just, well, I mean, we joke around a lot, but on a serious note, like, going into today is been a year since we lost George Floyd.
That's right.
And I've been like kind of like it's been in my brain kind of all day.
Yeah.
And to talk about things like this, like we're so privileged to be able to like talk about things like this.
Right.
That it's really really cool to me that we are talking about having a space of inclusion and a place where we welcome anyone from anywhere and in any walk of life. That's really really important to me.
So
And I know
it
you
has
as
to
well.
be. Well, it has to be from now on.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
the
been
standard.
kind of today. It's been like heavier on my heart today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure we kind of hit everything that we really wanted to talk about today, and it's been like super fun. I mean, we've had a great chat, and
Yes, yeah, it's been great seeing
it's
you guys.
been good to be
Great being
back. I've been
yeah.
like super happy to be back.
I know. I'm excited for Thursday now.
We
as
got
well.
set up so fast today.
I know. Yeah.
We came in here and we were like all ready to go. And
It was like 6 o'clock and we were
I know.
like, yeah,
We're
let's
done
get
in
set
10
up. We were done in 10
minutes.
minutes and we were just
we're
sat here.
streamlining
Like,
this for
sat here with
streamlining
our
for sure,
bloody
yeah.
pooch puppy, what's it, bulldog cops.
No, I'm like sucking this down. My Bangor allergies are really taking a toll on me today.
I stopped drinking this because I have the bladder of a walnut and I pissed like 4 times before the stream. Literally like within like 10 minutes. I've been drinking so much water. Yeah.
I had to ask you today. I was like, was there a lot of pollen on your car when you were
Mhm,
outside?
mhm.
And you were like, yes. And I was like, okay, that's why I like can't breathe.
I know.
So
literally.
excuse Mom a little
Little snivelly.
phlegmy.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. So we do have Thursday. We're gonna be streaming.
Thursday
again.
we are going to be streaming. Yes.
And this weekend we're gonna be trying to go see A Quiet Place Part 2.
Very, very excited for that. Actually, Mum, if you're still here, went to go see the first one with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Did you see it in theaters?
I did see it in theaters, and I had like chips or something, and I was just like
yeah. No, I
every
didn't
chip
eat
I was like, shit. I was like looking around like, fuck, is everyone looking? And then I'd like take a bite, and I'd feel so bad. I'd be like, shit. No, I'm super excited.
Yeah, I did the same thing in the theater. It was hard to eat and drink because you felt. And then when I left, I was like, oh, I felt like I should not talk. Also,
Right?
So,
Yeah.
We're gonna go try and see it this Friday. I know a lot of places are still kind of on more lockdown than we are.
Right.
But if it's safe for you guys to go out there and they're open and everybody's following the rules, go ahead and go out and see a movie. Go see it, and we
Yes.
can talk about it next week.
Hell yeah.
It might be really cool to have a discussion with you guys.
Tuesday
And
we'll be talking about it next Tuesday.
Yeah, it comes out this weekend.
Comes out this
So,
weekend, so we'll be talking about A Quiet Place Part 2 next Tuesday. So go out and see it, come back, chat with us.
Yeah,
Be
and
awesome.
we'll see you Thursday at 7 p.m.
Sounds good.